All right, let's talk about something that trips a lot of people up, the kidney diet. You hear that term and you think it's just one simple set of rules, right? Well, it's not. And getting this one difference right, it could honestly change everything for you.
I bet you've heard of the kidney diet, right? And when you do, what comes to mind? Probably this scary, super long list of all the things you can't eat. It's a term that gets tossed around all the time with zero context, and you know what? It just creates a ton of fear for no good reason.
But here's the kicker. What if I told you that for most people, like the vast majority of people dealing with kidney issues, that whole restrictive diet thing, it has pretty much nothing to do with actually healing? Nope, it's designed for something else entirely.
And this really breaks it down. You've got two totally different goals. On one hand, you have healing the cause. Actually fixing the problem so your kidneys can get back to doing their job. And on the other hand, managing damage. That's what that standard kidney diet is all about. It's basically damage control for when things have already gone pretty far south.
So the big question is, which camp are you in? How do you know which approach is right for you? Well, it all boils down to one single thing: knowing what stage you're at.
Okay, so doctors have this system. They break down kidney disease into 5 stages. It's all based on your filtration rate, which is just a fancy way of saying how well your kidneys are cleaning your blood. Stage 1 is super mild. Sometimes you wouldn't even know. And then it goes all the way up to stage 5, which is what we call kidney failure. Now this is the most important part. Check this out. About 80%, 80, of people with kidney issues, they're in those early stages. Stages 1, 2, and 3A. So for this huge group of people, the main goal shouldn't be damage control at all. It should be about healing the cause. That super strict, scary kidney diet, that's for the other 20%, the ones in the later stages.
Okay, so if the goal for that huge 80% group is healing, then what are we actually trying to heal? What's the real root cause that this whole kidney diet thing just completely misses?
Well, there are a few things that can cause it for sure. You've got infections, taking too many NSAID pain relievers, even autoimmune stuff like lupus. But really, there are 2 main culprits that are responsible for the lion's share of the problem. And guess what connects those 2 biggest causes? Type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure. It's one thing: insulin resistance. This is the bullseye. This is what we should be aiming at.
And get this, the source material we're looking at says that if we can just get a handle on the insulin resistance that's driving diabetes and high blood pressure, we could potentially wipe out up to 90% of all kidney disease. That's massive.
All right, so if fighting insulin resistance is our new mission, how does that change what we think of as kidney-friendly food? It means we have to look at everything we eat in a totally different way. Let's take a classic example: red grapes. You see these on pretty much every list of recommended foods for kidney health. And look, if your only goal is damage control, grapes seem perfect. They're low in phosphorus, potassium, and sodium, all the things you have to watch in those late stages. But, and this is a big but, take a look at the sugar content. If our goal is healing, that much sugar is a huge red flag.
So bottom line, if you're trying to fix the root cause, if you're trying to beat insulin resistance, grapes are not your friend. They're actually working against you.
Okay, so what's a better option for fruit? Well, let's talk about berries. Strawberries, blueberries, raspberries.
And here's the magic. Notice what's different? Berries are low in all that stuff: phosphorus, potassium, sodium, and they're super low in sugar. That's the key. So berries are an awesome choice. They kind of check both boxes, right? They're safe for the late-stage folks, but more importantly, for the 80%, that low sugar content is exactly what you need to fight insulin resistance.
But it gets even more interesting when we start looking at vegetables. Let's take a super common one: cauliflower.
Now here's where it gets a little tricky. See, it's low in a lot of things, but it's got a good amount of potassium. Now for most of us, that's great. We need potassium. But for that 20% group in the late stages, too much potassium can actually be dangerous.
And this just proves why context is literally everything. For the 80% trying to heal, cauliflower is fantastic. It's a great low-carb veggie. But for the 20% doing damage control, they've got to watch their portion sizes because of that potassium. See the difference?
So what this all gives us is a much better, much smarter way to think about this whole thing. It all comes down to asking yourself one simple question: what is my goal?
And this chart just lays it all out, plain and simple. If you're in that 80% group, your goal is healing. The way you do that is by fixing insulin resistance with real, nutrient-packed, low-carb food. If you're in the 20% group, your goal is damage control. And that's when you have to start limiting minerals to keep toxins from building up.
There's this quote from the source material that just nails it. We've basically confused the things you have to avoid during kidney failure with the things that actually cause the problem in the first place. Think about that. Potassium, protein, these aren't the bad guys. For most people, they're the tools your body absolutely needs to heal itself.
So, I want to leave you with this one last thing to think about. A really important question. When it comes to your health, are you just managing symptoms? Are you just dealing with the consequences? Or are you actually trying to heal the thing that's causing the problem?